Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play the Nomad Soul. Now, this is not a continuation of the last recording, as was intended. We're actually about 2 or 3 weeks later. I've had quite a bad cold. Hopefully I sound okay now. Frustratingly, all those messages we'd read before. Now, it does make perfectly good sense that bookshops would sell the same books. But why they're still selling newspapers from before the start of the game, I'm not sure. Still,
well, did you get to see Boss?
Okay, no housekeeping. Sorry about that, just had a coughing fit. I've still got a bit of a cough. I don't think it's going to interrupt the LP again. But I actually did get to speak to Boz, and he told me the only way to save my soul is to kill Astaroth.
I was afraid he'd say that. Killing a demon from the last circle is no easy task. Astaroth is the worst enemy you could face. First, you'll have to discover how to kill him, if there's a way.
Actually, the answer might be in a parchment in the library. Have you learnt anything new since Namtar's death?
Boz has decided to abandon our Janpur base. After Namtar's betrayal, it would have been too dangerous to stay in the same place.
Yeah, makes sense. Where's the new base?
In the cliff, behind Lahora Library. Dakoba and the others are already there.
Ah, well that's convenient as anything. See you later, Jenna. So, I'm pretty sure it's not just a normal book, is it? It was hidden somewhere on the top floor, were we told? Or in the how about through that lift?
I'm sorry. Only researchers have access to the last floor of the library.
No, I'm a researcher. I've already lost something that I should have had. Oh my word. Damn, my sneak is full. So do all these things have different... I'm not sure. It looks like there's a lot of repeated ones. No, I think there's a lot of repeated things here. Still, that's going to be the end of the episode. Given my knowledge of Omikronian literature, I think I'll avoid the subject. Well, we shouldn't really be talking in a library anyway. Excellent, there's a save point here. Probably should save, actually. Tar Fight Techniques, Volume 9, but my sneak is full. Which is true, isn't it? Yeah, let's take that book. Let's return... How do I return some to the library? Oh, maybe I can't. But I don't want to mix all my books up either. That helps us get into the last base, which is deserted. We can probably dump that now. I'm a bit concerned that in the last batch of recordings I'm talking for no reason, like most LPers. Now, it's not actually as bad as it seems to you, because a lot of that was to help me edit the video. I will try and knock that on the head a bit. Did I dump enough? I don't think I did I? No, I thought that might be the case. Well, I had to dump the Besham then. I guess we'll also know that everything above the Besham is a book we've taken. We could do it the other way around, actually, couldn't we? Everything above... Oh no, it didn't seem to be that clever. Yeah, it is. Everything above Tellis' talisman is from the library. I think that's a full lap, because that's our rings up there. A scientist! That's someone who shouldn't have too much difficulty consulting the book of his choice. So we're supposed to regenerate into him then. I don't know if I've got any more regeneration spells. Maybe I'm supposed to make one with the Beshem. Should I take out some more books? I don't know how far I got. We've already got that. Oh, you do actually have to pay. There are probably shops where we can go and buy a regeneration scroll if we want to. The reincarnation spell has succeeded. I now possess a new body. Yeah, they are all the same.
Hello, Professor. Have a nice day.
Hello, fellow colleague. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
So, nice library, isn't it?
Forgive me, I'd love to talk to you, but I'm in the middle of very complex calculations. Come back and see me later.
Excuse me. Goodbye. The guard makes sure no one takes out any books. I'd better leave him alone and not attract his attention. Aha! Well, there's 5 there to read. Well, that's actually quite convenient having them all in one place. Everywhere. This is where they give back the books. A switch. Oops, what have I done? Well, that was a terrible idea. Ah, he turned the light on. Thank you for that. I'm guessing that is incredibly useful. Because we can turn the lights off and then... I'm guessing if we take out a book, he's going to try and stop me. No? I'm guessing if we try and leave, he'll stop me. It is forbidden to take out the books. I can't get past the detectors. Right, but we can turn the detectors off if we wish to. Ah, this might be what we want. The Mystery of the Book of Naut by Gurf Kunar. The Book of Naut, the Book of Night in Masau dialect, was written several thousand years ago by the renegade sorcerer Matanbakos. As the last remaining survivor of the caste of sorcerers, he is said to have brought together all the secrets of the ancient art before disappearing mysteriously. It contained the most powerful spells in the universe, spells that make man equal to a god. It can be used to command the stars, to speak to the spirits of the dead, and to know the future. In order to protect it from the covetous desires of men, just before his death, Matanbakos asked his daughter to hide it in the Hammerstagen. After that, no one knows what happened. So we got a location, if nothing else. Aha! The entrance to Hammerstagen! The following text was found on a stele from the post-Augurian period. It is said to give directions on how to gain access to Hammerstagen, the city of the dead, but it has never been translated. So I guess we're to steal this and find a translator. The Legend of Boz by Soph Ibel. Boz was a citizen of Omikron like any other. He was shy and self-effacing, and was profoundly conscious of the injustice and iniquity of the government, but never imagined for a moment that he might one day be able to change anything. One evening, when he arrived home, he found the body of a woman lying in the kitchen. He had no time to see anymore because a demon jumped out on him and killed him with one blow to the neck. Boz's soul managed to extricate itself from his body before the demon could get it. His soul floated for a moment in the air, then rushed inside the multiplan terminal in order to avoid the demon. Since then, Boz has lived on the computer network. Deprived of a body forever, he devotes his virtual existence to combating the state and the demons by all means in his power. He is suspected of being the secret leader of the Sects of the Awakened. So that is probably just plot. We'll read that at the end. Plot? I don't mean plot. The Necropolis of Hammerstagen by Irlam Tafir. Thousands of years before the birth of the hero Kushlain, Hammerstagen was already the city of the dead. Magicians regularly came from all over Phenon to exchange knowledge of the art and discuss human business with the dead. The necropolis was a veritable underground city dedicated to rest for the dead. It consisted of thousands of tombs and magnificent temples dedicated to Viagmakura, the god of the art. Each magician returned to Hammerstagen on the day of his death in order to be buried in one of the tombs reserved for the masters of the art. Omikron was built just over the city of the dead. No one knows today exactly where Hammerstagen was located, nor whether it still exists. The access to the catacombs where the necropolis was situated seemed to have been lost forever. So I think we need to somehow fight the controls of this game to find our way into the middle of the room. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this without a walkthrough. I'm sure there's a set number of steps. I don't think he likes me messing around with the light switch. I better not push my luck. I'm sure that's what we have to do. But that's the easy one, and that's the hard one. But he always seems to end up on the left. Let's see if the walkthrough has an easier way. Okay, that's not the puzzle we meant to do. First, we'll read the Chronicle of the Cobalt Wars, Volume 21, Astaroth, the Prince of Shadows. In the 9th year of the Cobalt Wars, the hordes of Astaroth's demons covered the surface of the Earth. The human armies, led by Cushulain, began to give way under the terrible assault of the demons. The war was heading towards a deadly outcome for the humans. The more demons they killed, the more appeared. They had to find a way to kill Astaroth. Cushulain assembled all the sorcerers of Phanon, they thought, for 40 days before they could find a means of finally destroying Astaroth. The decision was kept a secret. No one ever knew anything about it. After the final confrontation between Cushulain and Astaroth, all the sorcerers of Phanon, as well as the hero Cushulain, disappeared for all time. Their terrible secret disappeared with them. The mystery of the weapon capable of killing Astaroth was recounted in only one book, the Book of Naught, by the renegade sorcerer Matankabos. Now we have that book, but we couldn't read it. What we're supposed to do is talk to this chap. Hello, colleague. I'm trying to translate a document from a foreign language. Can you help me?
Get a Tradutech. It's a small computer like this one, and it can translate into all known languages.
That sounds awesome. Can I borrow yours?
I might be able to lend it to you if you do me a small favor. At present, I'm doing some research on astronomy. I'm looking for the Egmar index of the third planet of the fourth system. I'm too old to explore the library in search of it. Bring me back the information I want, and I'll lend you my Tradutech.
No sooner said than done. Now we have to dump all our books, but we worked that out. We're not going to try and escape them. Instead, we have to buy him the books that he asked for. Now, can you remember what they were? Because I definitely can't. If you can, well done. I think it was that and that and that. Mind you, he doesn't need Massar runes because he's got a Transitech. Oh, perhaps we're meant to read them.
It doesn't fit into my calculations. You must have made a mistake.
Sorry, I thought you just wanted the book. Jesus. Treatise on Astronomy Quartat Systemis by Holmo Wolms. This is the principal astrophysical data for the planetary system Quartat Systemis. To obtain the correspondence of the Egmar index, use the cosmic coefficient to consult the table of cosmic correspondence by physician Gushmer. Quartat Systemis, temperature, annual cycle, cosmic coefficient, temporal wave. And there's a load of gibberish, but he hasn't asked me a question, has he? Is the question in here? Tales of Cosmic Correspondence by Gumisha. These tables can be used to convert cosmic coefficients into Egamar indices. Cosmic coefficient Egamar is... Blech. Right, what is the fucking question? He doesn't ask me one.
Perfect. That's the information I needed in order to be able to finish my calculations. Here's my Tradutech, and thanks for your assistance.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm sorry everybody watching the LP, I don't know what the puzzle was to work it out. Thanks. Still, I'm sure I'm not the first person that's completed the game like that. Now that I've got a Tradutech, I'll have to find a discreet way of using it. Now thankfully, because I've read the book, I already know this, and because we've already found the light switch. But what we have to do is we have to translate the book in the dark. Obviously. I think it was this one, wasn't it? No. No, it's the entrance to Hammerstagen. So what we have to do is we have to turn the lights out. And then, obviously, you use the Tradutech on the entrance to Hammerstagen. It looks like the Tradutech has translated the text. I don't need the book now. Tradutech translation of the text. He who would trouble the peace of the dead in the sacred necropolis of Hammerstagen must unite the 3 jewels of Via Magruka. The first 2 jewels, which were lost in the fury of Cobalt, may still be of this world. The third, the right eye of the god, still sleeps at the bottom of Yermali Well. When the 3 stones are reunited, to the temple of Kiwan the magician must go, to beg the blessing of the dead by bringing back to life the magician Kiwan himself. So probably going to have to make a lot of spells in the Bashem here, and collect a lot of equipment. But we should be able to dump some books. Because we've read all of those now. And then we should be done with the library, because I think I've got all the books in my multiplan. No one's trying to kill me. Now, I think it said we had to go behind a waterfall, didn't it? Okay, well that can be the next episode, so we've got plenty of reading. Thank you for watching, and come back for the next part of Nomad Soul. The Eye of Viagmukra parchment. 2 columns stand in the ground. Viagmukra's eye sees on high. By the feet a river swirls round. Follow its path and find your prize. On Parallel Universes by Yoram Gidab. The question, are we alone in the universe, has haunted philosophers since the dawn of time. Neutronal physicals opens up a new field for this question, since it persistently raises the question of the existence of universes that are parallel with our own. Some of my mathematical works tend to demonstrate that an infinity of interstitially superimposed universes could coexist in the different dimensions of space-time. These universes would constitute one and the same universe, which divided each time an alternative presented itself in its evolution. Our universe would then be a delineation of a primal universe, of which we would be no more than one possibility in an infinite field of alternatives. The Green Book, the Gospel of Yulei. Sharma the last prophet guided the 5 disciples through the wastelands of Abdelaman. On the morning of the 7th day, when the burning suns had purified our hearts, Sharma brought us into the prophet's cave, into the presence of the sacred rock. It floated in the air, projecting flashes of bluish light on the stone walls. The disciples fell to their knees before this wonder, and tearfully thanked the Supreme Being. While we recited the Psalms, Sharma spoke to us and said, "This is the sign granted by the Supreme Being, so that all may see and believe." The Green Book, Psalms. Psalm 4011, the Book of a Tenth. In the beginning was the void, then the dream floated over the wave. From its coupling with the shadows, the Supreme Being was born. The void created desire, its look gave birth to infinity, its breath gave birth to time. From its seed, man was born. Already tiring of his work, the Supreme Being lay down in silence, leaving a legacy of doubt to his creation. In vain the condemned man seeks divine sense and reason, to fill up the absence and finally find a meaning for his existence. In the deep seed sleep of the Supreme Being, sacred words escape from his lips. Nothing has meaning. The Green Book, Psalms 2. Psalm 6254, the Book of Ganar. The Supreme Being abandoned man to doubt and fear. When he awakens, he will re-establish the true order of the universe. Then the reign of the void shall return. Psalm 9613, the Book of Tamei. O Supreme Being, have pity on your children. Blind and deaf in your creation, give us the strength to reach the sublime instant where dreams and shadows blend, when we disappear into the void. Omicronian Laws, Volume 87. Article 20794b. Birth control is indispensable for the survival of the city. Restricted living space demands strict demographic controls in order to avoid overpopulation. Article 20794c. Newborn babes are left in the care of their mothers until the age of 1 year. The government educational system then takes charge of them and caters for all their needs until the age of 16 years, when they enter active life. Strict equality is guaranteed between all individuals. All have the same education, the same social environment, the same life, until they reach their majority. Omicronian Laws, Volume 89. Article 20796. The economy is planned by Ix. He determines the needs of the city and the production targets to be reached. Failure of any individual to meet quotas constitutes a serious crime, which is punishable by death. Article 20797. A decision of the plenum of the wise changed the duration of the working day from 5 to 3 hours. Article 20798. Retirement at the age of 40 is obligatory, except by special dispensation from the plenum of the wise. Article 20799. Incineration of the dead is obligatory. Burial is totally forbidden in the interest of preserving the living space of the population. Article 20800. According to the law of 62 Zenet 5728, decreed by Ix and approved by the plenum of the wise, the population of Omicron is set at 25 million individuals. Maintenance of the living space and demographic control are indispensable for the survival of the city. The Treatise on Anti-Gravity by Leo Sparks. The basic principle regulating cellular reactions is the high-speed projection of electrons on a refractory surface. The surface is rapidly negatively charged as a result of the electron flow and exercises a magnetic repulsive force on the surface emitting the electrons. This negative charge is temporary, since the electrons return almost instantaneously to their source material. The infinitely small time lapse required for the exchange of electrons is enough to create a repulsive magnetic reaction, which is the basis of anti-gravity. Zafat grammar by Shom Dunem. Of all the primitive pre-Cobalt dialects, Zafat undoubtedly has the most highly developed grammar. The noun is declined from the gerundive, which in turn agrees with the pluperfect when preceded by the subject. When the attitude of the adjective is the same gender as the pronoun, the verb is conjugated in accordance with the complement of the direct object. The complexity of Zafat grammar is surely one of the factors underlying its disappearance. Sayam dialects by Yobdo Liula. One of the distinguishing features of the Sayam tribe dialects is the small number of phonemes used, fewer than 20. Based on these basic syllables, the Sayam language builds up extremely complex sentences with a high degree of precision. The meaning of a word can be determined from its context. The Birth of Ix, Volume 1 by Kazim Fidal. In the year 4907, as a result of bad management of resources, there was a great famine in Omikron, followed by the outbreak of a civil war. This unprecedented disturbance in the history of Omikron could easily have been avoided if strategic choices had been made by an honest and competent authority. For this reason, when the Algira revolt put an end to the reign of Baldo the Mazian in 4922, it was decided that a computer should henceforth rule over human destinies. Sensory devices and cameras would be its ears and eyes. They would provide the computer with the information necessary for it to make optimum decisions in the interest of the city. Humans would have no power except in day-to-day matters and justice. All the Omikron scientists set to work, and 62 cycles later Ix was born, the most powerful computer ever designed by the human brain. The Cobalt Wars Volume 2 by UC Masep. The humans assembled all their forces under the banner of a great hero, Cuchulainn. Leading his legions, he did combat with the demons in order to prevent them from taking control of Phaenon. Thus began the Cobalt Wars. Words cannot describe the horror of the following cycles. The dead were numbered by millions, and on more than one occasion the fate of the human race depended on the outcome of a battle. Fortunately, Cuchulainn never defaulted in courage or daring. Cycle after cycle, he won back territories from the infernal armies. Cobalt Wars Volume 41 by UC Masep. Fate took a turn at the Battle of Emesa. Leading the human armies, Cuchulainn decimated the infernal legions. All the lifelong day he sundered incubi and succubi, shedding their blood on the soil of Phaenon. When the battle was at its most intense, he flung himself against Astaroth and engaged him in single combat. Their duel lasted 7 days and 7 nights. On the morning of the 8th day, the humans finally dared approach. Astaroth lay inanimate on the ground, but Cuchulainn had disappeared. They cried out, searched the ruins and the surrounding forests, but to no avail. In great haste they built a cage of Epiphander and shut Astaroth inside it. Then they cast the cage into a lake of boiling lava. The gilded prison slowly sank into the entrails of the earth. No one ever saw Cuchulainn again, or learned what had become of him. Gastronomy under the dome. Fricasse of gin pan with apples. Ingredients: 1 empty gin pan, 2 fistfuls of bacon, 11 fistfuls of umil, 4 colipas, arrot oil, 9 gillam apples. Peel the apples and boil in the arrot oil for 5 periods. Add the bacum and stoned colipas. Dress the gin pan in a robe of umil and sprinkle with bacam. Fill the dressing with the apples and place in an oven for 7 periods. Hang in a cellar for 91 periods. Heat up and serve with fresh clybat pasta. Tar Fight Techniques Volume 9. Tar grip techniques are devastatingly violent. They can often be used to end a combat by killing one's adversary. Here are a few examples of grip techniques. Step and A, step and B, step and C, step and D. Tar Fight Techniques Volume 22 by Berzens. The most powerful techniques of tar combat consist of series of blows. They can be mastered only through practice, but confer a decided advantage over the adversary. AAB, 3-hit fist combo. Thunder Feet, Snow Target Attack A, Snow Target Attack B, Takayimi A, Takayimi B, Shishin A, Shishin B. Last Circle Combo.